Okay, what's it say?
Tuesday.
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 Oh, I was close. I said Tweezdag.
I thought you were just about to say from a neo-Nazi, and I was like, don't. The sheriff department will put up like the days or the week's mugshots. Bet you're going through that and there's a fucking picture. Why are you so mad about vegetables?
Well, let me tell you, they just sit in a wheelchair all day doing nothing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Functional Idiots Podcast. I'm Dylan, and I'm here with Colton.
Yes, back.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, back and refreshed from vacation.
Oh, yeah, you're refreshed, huh? Sicker
Yeah.
than a dog over there.
I'm not sicker than a dog. I just got a fucking cold and shit. It sucks. Want to die? You know, the usual. Just want to die. But, yeah, it was fun anyways.
Just the usual.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely going to be hitting the mute button a lot. Because every time I laugh, I then go into like about a 15-hour coughing fit. So, if you just hear me like laughing and then stopping out of nowhere, it's probably because I'm then coughing up about 15 of my lungs. So, yeah, no bueno. It is not
Big
good.
oofs.
Yeah, it's better than what it was because at least I don't want to get too sickly, but coughing something up rather than dry coughing. There's nothing more frustrating than a dry cough when you're sick and you cough and nothing comes up and you're just like, and you can feel it in your lungs. Like, I just want to fucking just kill something.
Please.
Yeah. So at least sometimes stuff comes up. So I got an empty McDonald's cup here ready to be filled up with sickly mucus and shit. So thought I'd share that.
That's beautiful. I'm glad I get to listen to that. The fuck?
Well, no, you don't get to listen to it because I'm gonna hit mute. But I do get to listen to it.
True.
I get to perform the act, so that's a lot of fun.
To see it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, a whole bunch of floating loogies down at the bottom of a McDonald's cup.
Yummy.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's
what
a
drink's
drink
that?
I'd like.
Oh, what's that for McDonald's? Oh, it's loogie and spit. It's great.
Like right now. He just
Yep,
ate it.
there's one. So, yes, I've been gone for 2 weeks, although we did post. Who am I kidding? I posted. There was no fucking we. I posted. I posted 2 previous episodes of our Not Until 4 Patreon podcast, which we have not updated. What did I say? September? I looked it up one time. When was the last time we actually did something?
I think
like
September.
It's been a while. So, but at least something went up, right? And I wanted to put together a best of sort of thing, but then, well, I just couldn't be bothered, so that just didn't happen. So, but I did that at least. But for the last 2 weeks, I was down in, besides getting sick, down in Daytona Beach, Florida. I went down to the Daytona 500 for NASCAR, and it was a ton of fun. I mean, other than get out of winter cold in Michigan for 2 weeks in the middle of February, which is already great in itself. But just the whole thing, I mean, going to the racetrack, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row. Not necessarily the Daytona, but a racetrack 6 days in a row. My dad went down for a few days, and after that, the whole time down to 2 weeks, it was me, my mom, and then my mom's one of my mom's friends. We're down the whole 2 weeks, and then my dad came down for just a few days because he didn't have the vacation time to take off the full 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So, but we went to single car qualifying, we went to the duels, the Craftsman truck race on Friday, the ARCA race, which was not much of a race, more like a demolition derby, and then the Xfinity Series race that night, and then obviously the 500 on Sunday, which if you are living in a state, or not necessarily a state, let's just say anywhere in the world, and you have a severe drought going on, just schedule a NASCAR race. It will rain. Guaranteed. I will guarantee you that weekend, and especially the day of the NASCAR race, it will rain. 100% guarantee. I will put my life's earnings on that. They have had the worst luck when it comes to rain, because if you don't know, the Daytona 500 is basically NASCAR's Super Bowl, except they do it at the beginning of the year, not the end of the year. Whatever. It's their Super Bowl. It's their Indy 500. It's their biggest race. And what is it? 5 of the last 7 years have been affected by rain. Like they have, and I think 4 of the last, no, and of those 7 years, I think 4 of them had to run on Monday. Either start completely run on Monday, or they started Sunday and then got washed out and had to finish on Monday. I mean, they've had horrible luck as of late of rain on the day during the Daytona 500, and it was no different this year. We ran, I think, 9 laps, stopped for 4 hours because of rain, and then continued the last 191 laps. Yeah, it was like, can we just catch? And it sucks because this year, obviously, Fox had the Super Bowl, and so during the Super Bowl, they promoted the 500.
Yeah,
and then naturally it fucking rains. So it's like, damn it, all that work you put in, all the time, you know, you put in for the promos, and then Mother Nature says, fuck you. Why? Because fuck you. But it is what it is. You can't change anything. But it was still fun. Froze my ass off. It's because we listened to meteorologists. Won't make that mistake again. Because when the rain came through on Sunday, there was a cold front that was pushing it along. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's going to drop like 6-7 degrees. And it's like, oh, okay, it's going to go from like 80 to like 72. Okay, it's still short weather. No, it wasn't. It dropped 15 degrees. 15 degrees. So it was 65 out.
Oh.
How do you miss it by that much? Oh, drop 6-7 degrees. You're going to drop 6-7 fucking feet off my foot here in the middle, asshole. How do you miss it that much? 15 degrees, we froze our asses off for the last 100 laps because when the sun went down, it was not good. We went down. That's what happened. It was not good.
I was going to say, when the sun went down, you went down.
Yeah, it was bad news bears, dude. We had blankets, fucking jackets on and shit, fucking froze our asses off. We looked like ice cubes sitting in the grandstands. It was terrible. It sucked.
Wait, you're telling me you did this with 65 degrees? At 65 degrees?
Dude, it was still pretty windy. But when you don't, Dylan, when you're sitting there with shorts on because they told you it was going to be 72 and then it's 65 and humid, so then it actually feels colder than what it actually is. Plus there's like 15-mile-an-hour winds and you're sitting at the top of the grandstands. And so the wind's just fucking piercing through your back and stuff. Yes, I know you're going to say, oh, it was like -2 up here in Michigan. We're in fucking Florida, asshole, all right? Little bit difference. Little difference. And
I was going to say exactly that, except I was going to be like, yeah, it was like 5 degrees here with a decent wind. That was cold.
The difference is you prepare for that. You're like, oh, it's going to be cold as hell. Okay, I'll put on 15 fucking layers and 6 jackets, right? Down there, they're like, oh, it's going to be 72. Oh, 72? Totally can wear shorts. No, not when the sun goes down and it's not 72. And it's windy as hell. And it's cold. No, that sucked, dude.
Yeah!
Little difference. Little bit of a difference.
I'd gladly take a 65-degree day, humid and windy.
Yeah, I would too. I would too. When I know it's going to be that. You know, if they would have said it was going to be 65 and it ended up being 70, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But the other way around, and you're like at that point where you could change from jeans to shorts, and they're wrong, that's when it sucks, okay? It's like if you go outside and they're like, oh yeah, it's not going to fucking snow today, or it's not going to rain today, so you don't bring an umbrella to work, and then on your way walking from the office to the car, it fucking downpours like 17 inches of rain. Yeah, you're going to be a little fucking peeved, aren't you? Little peeved. Yeah, politicians and meteorologists each have, or both have one thing in common. They can lie to you every day and they will not lose their job.
There you go.
They have that in common. So outside of that, it was still fun. We got to see Air Force One land at the airport because Donald Trump went to the 500. So, and when he showed up, because the racetrack faces, like the grandstands faces like the southeast kind of, and right behind the backstretch of the racetrack is the Daytona Beach airport. And so to where we're sitting, so, well, it doesn't matter where, anywhere you're sitting in the grandstands, to your left, which would be the east, is the ocean. And we knew a few days prior, it was rumored that he was going to come up to the 500. But then about, I think the day before, there was actually like, it was like confirmed he was going to come to the 500. So when he showed up, they came from the ocean and stuff. And so you kind of heard, we sat right in the middle of the tri-oval basically. And so you heard off to your right, people start cheering and stuff a little bit. And then when that happened, like everybody looks to their left. And then like 2 seconds later, you could see Air Force One did a flyover of the racetrack before he then spun around and then landed at the airport on the backstretch. Okay. And then Trump came in, he did a couple laps of the racetrack in his limousine and stuff like that. It was cool. And then of course it rained. So then we all fucking were like, oh, deuces, right? And we left. We didn't leave, but we went, where it wasn't raining, which don't worry, gonna get back to that in a minute. But we kind of knew, so like the first clue that possibly Donald Trump was gonna come to the 500 was that on Thursday, there was rumors beforehand, like, oh, he might come, he might not. It's all kind of like, wishy-washy right now. Well, me and my dad on Thursday, before the 500, I don't know what fucking day it is. I think it was like the 13th or something like that. We went to the racetrack. We did the NASCAR racing experience. He did a ride-along while I actually drove a race car around the racetrack, which was fucking awesome. Just want to say, if you ever have the chance to do that, do that. Not necessarily just at Daytona, but just any track. You could even just do a ride along in a race car around dude, fantastic. Totally worth the money. But when my dad did it, he got out and the guy that was taking off his helmet, because you have to wear a helmet and stuff like that in the car, and he's like, yeah, the guy in front of you is a Secret Service agent for Trump. It's like, oh, well, that's pretty fucking cool, right? Assuming the dude's not lying, right? I don't think the guy was lying. I don't think he was lying, considering what happened, 3 days after of Trump being there. And because of the rain, they moved the start of the race up an hour from 2:30 to 1:30 on Sunday. And then they also said, due to increased security measures, please arrive early. I wonder what those increased security measures are all about. Why do we have increased security measures, right? So like every other day we get to the racetrack, they would just, you could bring in basically a mobile home into the grandstands nearly at a NASCAR race. Like they allow you to bring in a lot of stuff, right? Coolers, bags, fucking food, drinks, your own beer. It's fantastic. Love it. And they were still doing that Sunday, but every other day but Sunday, when they would go through, they would just kind of like look in your bag a little bit, just make sure you're not bringing in like guns, right?
Right.
Weapons. And then they would just have like one of those wand, metal detector wand things, and they would just wand you front, back. All right, you're good. That's it. Nothing like that. Not on Sunday. Sunday, you get there. We had Secret Service agents at every single table. And then every table, too, was a TSA agent. And they were basically, you'd put your bag up there. They would take everything out of your bag, which was something they weren't doing the prior days. Then put everything in the bag. You had to go through a full-ass metal detector. And then if the metal detector went off, then they would wand you and pat you down and everything. And it was like, damn, this is a lot fucking more involved than it was the last few days. And yeah, it was just a little bit more involved. And like, when I mean there was Secret Service, there was like straight up Secret Service agents, full out body armor gear and with rifles and everything, dude. Like straight up, no shit. And then we went up to where we were sitting, and they had one of those scissor lifts, and they were lifting up. I don't know if they were Volusia County Sheriff's Department or if they were Florida State Police, but they had each one of them had a massive ass sniper rifle with them.
Holy shit!
They were scissor lifting them up onto a roof where they could look over the midway area where the merchandise haulers were and stuff. It's like, oh, they are fucking serious, dude. Holy
time
shit.
To get cereal.
Yeah, they were not screwing around. They were coming to play. Well, hopefully we didn't need them to play, but they were coming to play. So, but that was really cool. But then when it rained, so of course it starts raining, and The one nice thing about a NASCAR race is that when you go there, if you have a scanner and a headphone, you can listen to all the teams. Because they just talk over the air on regular two-way radio. And as we're listening to, I believe it was Chase Elliott, we hear his spotter say, there's reports of rain in turn 1. Caution has not come out at this point. Well, as he says that, I look to my right, and all of a sudden you see everybody stand up at one time and immediately start going towards the stairs and start going down the stairs. And about 5 seconds later, the caution came out for rain. So it's like, yep, they knew it was raining. But yeah, there was your sign, right? So we get all this shit together. We haul ass down, well, as fast as we could, haul ass down the stairs. Because if you, okay, here comes my first of a couple gripes. Where we sat, we were in row 42, which was the very top of our section. It was actually the highest you could sit at the racetrack. There's the 100 level, the 300 level, and the 400 level. We were in the 400 level, row 42. Nothing was higher than us except the people in the Goodyear blimp and the spotters on top of the press box for the drivers.
Okay.
If you can't do stairs well, don't sit 3/4 of the way up a set of grandstands.
Right.
Okay? Because when it's raining and people want to get, I don't know, out of the fucking rain, and you're taking one step at a time, like the count, like 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and you're holding everyone up, this bitch.
You're going to get throttled.
Dude, this bitch, I swear to God, it was literally like 1 step, and she was taking both, like, a step, she was hitting both legs or both feet on the same step as she was, like, literally taking 1 step at a time. It'd be like, 1. And meanwhile, we're like, dude, we are getting soaked here. It is raining. What is going on? Okay, if you can't do stairs, do not sit where there's a lot of fucking stairs. Okay?
Right.
There are other options around the racetrack where you did not need to sit and go up and down 50 fucking stairs. It was ridiculous. Like, if it would have actually been raining harder, I swear to God, I would have pushed her off the fucking grandstands. Like, here you go, bitch. You're at the bottom now. You happy?
No, just take her knees out.
Like, it was like,
Just
oh
like
my
push on the back
God,
of her
dude.
legs, let her knees buckle, and just watch her roll.
Dude, I was losing my shit. I'm like, seriously? Like, not even just the courteousness of, being slow as fuck, but also, too, why would you want to go through all that? You obviously can't do stairs worth of fuck, all right? You probably have, like, one of those chair lifts at your house. So why are you going somewhere where you're going to have to climb stairs? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're still climbing down the stairs to leave the parking lot right now.
Crazy.
I mean, it was ridiculous, man. It was like, come on, what are we doing? So the race stopped at like 2:30. So at about 5 o'clock, we finally get to the bottom of the stairs, out of the grandstands, right? We go in, we find somewhere, and there's not many tables and chairs underneath the grandstands because, well, it's not really meant for people to be hanging out during, So we everybody just kind of like huddles anywhere where there's covered ground and stuff, or it's covered. We went back down into the 300 level, and we just found a concrete pillar there, and we just kind of set up shop because we could put stuff up on the ledge and things like that, right? So we're standing there just bullshitting, right? Because we have time to kill now until stops raining and they can drive the racetrack. Right, we're standing there, okay? So from where I'm leaning against the pillar, back to the pillar, like 1.5 feet to the right of me around the pillar is another person sitting there leaning, right? No problem, right? This dude comes waltzing up out of nowhere, out of the crowd, right? Throws his stuff down between us and then just kind of like crams his way in between me and this other dude in the pillar and just sits down. It's like, oh, did you want to sit here? Do you not have fucking words? Like, you could just ask, like, hey, you mind if I sit there? Oh, yeah, sure, we would have moved our stuff. No, he just fucking throws his stuff down, crams himself between us, and sits down. It's like, okay, yeah.
Hey, prick, I'm sitting here.
Yeah, like, asshole, we're standing here, okay? If you wanted to sit down, you could have asked, we would have moved. But just to fucking do it out of nowhere, kind of a douchebag move, all right? So there's number 2 of asshole that Secret Service should have taken out. It was just ridiculous, right? It's like, what do we do? Like, is the common courtesy of America? Well, I know the answer to that is yes. But it was like, come on, people. And he was the kind of guy that you could tell was a douchebag. How could you tell he's a douchebag, right? Okay. Snoopy me, came into effect here. His lock screen on his phone was a picture of him smoking a cigar.
Ew.
So egotistical douchebag has entered the chat.
That motherfucker has jerked off to that picture of himself. I guarantee it.
He probably has it like laminated at home and stuff, so it's easier to clean and everything.
Oh, gotta wipe her down.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, it all makes sense now. All makes sense. The world revolves around him. Everybody gets out of the way for him. He doesn't need to ask. He just does. It's like, what a fucking dick. Good Lord. So finally, 4 hours later, stops raining. Go back up in the grandstands. Well, that was technically, we went up into the grandstands. They were out there doing the pace laps, getting ready to go, and then it started raining again. But this was just like a little bit of a cloud. So they brought the cars back down pit road. Of course, we all scurried back underneath the grandstands again. About 20 minutes later or so, they go back out, and then they actually raced. And at this point, it was like even clear on the radar, it was not going to rain again. So race started. Everything went great. We wadded them up 3 different times. Car went upside down. Took flight. It was great. And then we went home. And so and this isn't necessarily there's kind of 2 complaints I have about the racetrack. One, the racetrack can't really control, because if you look at where the racetrack is, it's basically in town. Like if you look at it, it literally is in town of Daytona. And so the luxury of having a ton of available empty lots for parking aren't really there. And so parking is kind of a nightmare a little bit. But that, like I said, that's not really the racetrack's fault, because they can't control who buys a plot of land and what they do with it, right? But after Sunday, we kind of figured out a good idea of where to park and stuff like that. So we actually got out of there pretty quick on Sunday, which was nice. But walking, it could be better, because when you're having a bunch of the grandstands at Daytona seat just over 100,000 people. And so when you have probably at this point 90,000 people leaving at the same time.
Yeah.
It could do with having more police like directing traffic than what was going on. That is something the racetrack can control, because they obviously request police presence and obviously probably have a traffic plan in place. Where we parked behind the Volusia Mall, there was nobody directing traffic about like when we'd leave the tech center, one of the teachers would come out, and so there'd be like 4 lines of traffic, right? And they'd have this line go, clear out like 10, 20 cars, and then they'd stop. And then the next line would go, clear out 10, 20 cars, stop. Like that. There wasn't anybody doing that. And that would have been a lot more efficient than people doing the zipper method, because, well, there's assholes that won't properly do the zipper method, right?
Yeah,
And it would just be faster if you have a police officer directing traffic. So that part the track could do better at, and maybe because it was at like 10:30 at night, the race was supposed to happen at 2:30, so it should have been done by like 6:30. Maybe there would have been, but since it was so late, they couldn't. I don't know. But the other gripe I have with the track is that their food options at the track are, I've seen better food options at a high school football game. The food there was not, the food options were not great. Like, it was basic, which I'm fine with if you have basic, but if that's all you have,
boo,
we could do
suck.
We could do a little bit more in that category.
Yeah. Boo, you suck.
Like, you have a concession stand that sells hamburger or cheeseburgers and hot dogs. Okay, that's fine. Well, that's when, but when that's only when they sell. And the only other thing you have one time is this thing called the 31 degree deli or whatever the fuck it's called, Deli 31, because the banking at Daytona is 31 degrees, and they have 2 options for wraps: turkey and veggie. Which who the fuck's buying a veggie wrap? And that's literally you have Papa John's there who are making like little 8-inch pissant pizzas or whatever. that's all your food option is, I'm sorry, that's fucking terrible, okay? Let's do a little bit better in this category. And it's not that hard to do. That is not something that's very difficult to do. So that is one complaint I do have, is that the food options there is pretty bad. Pretty bad. Like, it takes basic and it's a step below basic. So, but other than that, it was a great time. One thing I do... Well, so during the whole 2 weeks, I rented a Ford Mustang. And it was the first time I had ever driven a Mustang. Was really excited about it. Of course, I only had like the fucking 2.3 liter EcoBoost in it. Right? Whatever.
Yeah.
Was a convertible. Only used the convertible the actual convertible part a couple of times because either it wasn't quite warm enough out to do it, or it was like late at night, and it's like, I do not want to drive with the convertible down when it's 11 o'clock at night. No thanks. But after driving and yesterday, so I flew home when we're recording this. I flew home Friday the 21st, which was yesterday, in the morning. And when I got home, I then had to go to the store. I wanted to go to the store and get some stuff. So after driving a Mustang for 2 weeks, right, which is basically like dragging with your ass, or driving with your ass dragging the ground, basically. It's what it is, right? And then getting into a regular, non-jacked up, straight from the factory Ford F-150, it felt like I was driving a boat, dude. I'm like, holy shit. I feel like I can see Wisconsin, man. Holy hell, I'm sitting so high up. It was just weird because I got used to driving a Mustang for 2 weeks, it's smaller.
Oh, yeah, I forgot, yeah.
It's smaller and narrower, right? And then you get into an F-150, you're like popped up in the air. It's like, holy shit, I got to actually reach and lean to actually hit something in the infotainment screen. The hell, this sucks, man. I gotta put more.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, holy shit. I look at my mirrors and I can see. Wow, I can see the car next to me. What a fucking amazement, you know? It's just something so stupid, but it's like, you don't really notice it until it happens. You're like, holy hell. It does not take you long to get used to something. It'll be interesting on Monday when I go back to work. I get my semi. It's like, holy fuck, man. I'm like in the clouds. But one last thing I want to bring up about my trip, and I noticed this really only down in Daytona, so I don't know how popular this is. But you know, you go through a store and there's obviously always mannequins wearing like pants or like shirts or stuff like that, right? Is it just me, or maybe you've seen this because obviously with you having a girlfriend, you go to the mall a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
Is mannequins having like nipples a thing now?
You know, yesterday, me and Brianna went to, just had to drop some off at her grandma's. And, we stopped by one of the Myers that's, on the way there.
Mm-hmm. And
I swear to God, we walked past a mannequin, and I swear to God, it had one nipple. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm not going to say anything because maybe I'm just seeing shit or whatever, or it could have been a fold in the clothes, whatever.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
right.
I'm like, I swear to God, that mannequin had a nipple. So, yeah, I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I noticed. I'm like, I like all the, if it was a female mannequin, whatever you want to call it, wearing like a tank top or whatever it was, they all had nipples. And of course, they're not wearing bras. So you just see like the nipple part poking through the shirt. And it's like, is this a thing now? Like, is this like, I've never seen this until now. And now everywhere I went down there, every single mannequin had a nipple. Next thing you know, then I started looking like, well, do they have camel toes now? So I started looking. No, we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Oh shit! Though. Yeah, yeah. Some mannequins do have nipples.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it to show like this is how much your nipples protrude through this like thin ass fucking gabardine? What's the point of it? Other than get perverts like me and you to look at it and gawk, it's more like
some dude mannequins have nipples too.
Why? We don't care. What's the point of it?
They're trying to see if you can cut diamonds.
I guess, right? Like, oh, are they going to look at me or no? These don't really sculpt my nipples like this one does. Becky, nobody cares. You're fucking like negative A cup, all right? You got like canyons upstairs. Nobody's looking. I just didn't understand it. It was like, Okay, whatever. I guess this is a thing now. Next thing you know, we're gonna have, like you said, mannequins with camel toes and fucking male mannequin with, like, you know, bags of pee bulges down there or something like that to see how much it fucking showcases your nutsack. I don't know. Fucking weird, dude. Fucking weird. But yeah, that's what I pretty much got for my trip down today. And there was other things that happened, but you know.
Yeah, he bought a prostitute, but didn't want to talk about it.
I bought way more money. I spent way more money in merchandise than what I needed to. But that's neither here nor there.
$5,000.
Well, it was not that much, dude. If I did that, I'd be fucking filing for Chapter 11 like yesterday. But obviously I went down the day before the Super Bowl, and so we debated about going out to somewhere to eat for the Super Bowl or just doing it in the condo. But we're like, okay, who's in the Super Bowl? Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, we'll just stay at the condo because we don't want to. Because you go somewhere, and it's going to be Chiefs fans in there, and then it's going to be Eagles fans, and Philadelphia fans are some of the worst fans in sports. So we don't want to deal with that bullshit. We'll just stay in the condo. Watch the Super Bowl. Yeah, great move. Mostly because then when the halftime show came on, we could just go do other things. If you take the aspect of the two teams out of it, the game itself was not great because obviously it was just the Eagles absolutely throttling the Chiefs, which was fucking fantastic. Awesome, right? I do have one complaint with Fox. They didn't show Taylor Swift at the end when the Chiefs lost. I was very disappointed in that. Well, I have more than just one complaint in Fox. I do have one big gripe that we'll get to in a minute. But obviously, Dylan, you did not watch. How much of the Super Bowl did you actually watch?
Literally like a minute or two.
Okay, did you see any highlights of it or no?
Nope.
Okay.
All I know is that the Eagles won, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, it was definitely it was like, people would, like, some people ask me, like, well, who do you want to win? It's like, neither, really, if that's possible. Like,
I wanted the Lions to win, but, you know.
Well, obviously, but they weren't in it. So I'm saying if the two teams that were in it, it's like, who do you want to win? It's like, neither, because no one's winning. But if I had to pick one, I would want the Eagles just because I'm tired of the fucking Chiefs. And the Eagles came in and absolutely kicked the shit out of the Chiefs, which sucks because if that was the Lions, dude, if the Chiefs play like that, the Lions would have absolutely killed them. It was just like like when the game first started, and Kansas City Philly got a bogus penalty right off the bat. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go, right off the bat. Wow, couldn't even make it fucking a minute into the game. You already got a bullshit pass interference call, whatever the fuck it was. Well, then it's like stopped after that. And see, then the NFL can come out and say, like, see, there's no favoritism towards the Chiefs. They're like, no, there was. We caught on to your shit. And then you realized, oh, fuck, maybe we should lay off a little bit. And so y'all did.
Yeah, you stupid fucks.
Yeah, assholes. It's not. There was still some questionable penalties that were called on the Eagles throughout the game. But it was pretty obvious early on that the Eagles were going to win that game. By the end of the first quarter, I could tell that Kansas City was in the shit. And by halftime, it was over. It was over at halftime. They were up like, what? Would you say 24-0 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
It was like, it's over. It's over. So, obviously Kermit the Frog did not have a great game, threw a pick six, and then he threw two interceptions, one of them being a pick six, had a fumble. That was awesome. But one thing that, and this happens with all the big broadcasters, when they have I think now ABC is in the cycle for broadcasters. Beforehand, it would be CBS, NBC, Fox, right? That was a cycle of Super Bowls. Now I think ABC is in there too. I'm not quite sure. Hold on. But during the Super Bowl, that's usually when the broadcasters will either unveil new camera things or will unveil a new graphics package, or then usually after the Super Bowl, they'll unveil like a new show that'll play immediately after the Super Bowl because it will get a shitload of ratings, right?
Yeah.
And that was no different for this year for Fox. Now, I don't know if they did new camera angles. I didn't notice anything that was revolutionary in that aspect. And show-wise, I didn't give a fuck after the Super Bowl. But one thing they did do is they changed their graphics package. Now, I thought the graphics package that they had for, and by graphics package, I mean like the score bug on the bottom, the ticker, the bug, whatever you want to call it. I call it the graphics package because everything kind of centers around what the score board or the score ticker or the bug, whatever you want to call it, looks like on the screen. And I actually liked Fox's prior, what they had for the NFL. I think their college one is a little bit better than the NFL one, but both were good, right? I wouldn't say they were great. I've seen ones that were better. But I think they were definitely the best out of the the major broadcasters, not throwing in Netflix and Amazon Prime, of NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox. I think Fox had the best. No more. I don't know. I don't know who approved of the new score bug, but it legitimately looks like they had a first grade class design it. It does. Like,
guys, how are we gonna get these guys' attention? Let's put blocky letters and just behind the colors. Yes.
Yeah, it's like it's the most basic shit. Like, I get a big thing right now is minimalism, but this takes it to a whole nother level, man. Like that's exactly what it is. It's literally either KC or PHI, the affiliation for the team, shorthand, behind and then behind them is their team color. That's it. That's all there is. And it's just a rectangle on the screen. It's like, what? That's what we're going with? We're spending millions of dollars redesigning our graphics package and we're going with this? What the fuck, man? What is this? It's garbage. It is absolutely garbage. I mean, it was like a bad train wreck. Like, the game's going on and I just kept staring at the score bug and I'm like, we thought that was good. Somebody in the graphics department was like, yep, we're going with that. I couldn't believe it. I hope that, and from the consensus, because then of course, like, once the game started, I start scrolling Twitter and like, oh yeah, I was having like a meltdown over it. It was not good. Like, there was very few people are saying, oh, I actually like it. You probably also like playing with fucking Barbies naked, so your opinion does not count. I hope that they're like, this is bad, we're gonna go back. Like, you can go back as long as you didn't delete the file that the old graphics package was on, but you can go back. It is okay. It was so bad. It was so bad. And to me, when I watch sports, one of the things I kind of nerd out on a little bit is I like to see what the TV provider's graphics package looks like. Because a good graphics package, or a graphics package in general, can make a broadcast look better or worse. And in this case, it made it look it just looked like they weren't even trying. Like they didn't care.
So, dude, someone tweeted, after giving Tom Brady $375 million, Fox only had $25 left to spend on the scorebug design.
That's what it looked like, though. Like, it's like, oh, fuck, we're out of money. Quick, let's have an intern whip something together in 20 minutes.
I will say the Philadelphia one doesn't look terrible, but the Kansas City one just looks fucking awful.
Well, if you look like...
it's just hard to look at.
If you look at what they had before, let's see here, Fox, NFL, or if you look up graphics package, it's going to be like, here, we'll do 2023, because if I do what they have now, it's not going to be good. Like, if you look up what they had before, okay, they had the colors of the team and then on both sides, and then they also had the team logo behind it, right? And that would, and they wouldn't say either, KC or PHI. Now, if the team's logo said that, like Kansas City has KC over the arrowhead, okay, but Philadelphia doesn't, it just has the eagle. But it's like, anybody watching this game knows that it's the Philadelphia Eagles, right? You don't need to spell it out. Everybody knows it's the Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody knows it's the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, and I guess Fox had the Super Bowl in 2023, and so that's when they unveiled what their previous graphics package was. And like I said, I liked it. I liked the previous graphics package. It was pretty simple. It was clean, right? Both teams had their colors, their logo. You had what quarter it was, time, game clock, what the yardage to gain was, and then underneath the timeouts. And then you go to this one, and it's just so blech. It takes up so much more space on the screen. And when, like what Fox will do is they'll have like behind whatever team has the ball. So like in this picture, Kansas City had the ball. So like on the left of it, it says like Patrick Mahomes. He is like 1 for 13 with 24 yards, 1 interception, right? Whatever it is. But like on the other ones, it would be like in a gray bar. So you could tell that it was part of the score bug and not on the actual screen or the field, right? It just
somebody goes, score bug so shit that I recreated this in PowerPoint in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, ouch.
It's just so basic and boring. It's so basic and boring. That's what I don't know. It was totally a step backwards from what they had before. Totally a step backwards. So I don't know who has the Super Bowl in 2026. I know it's in Santa Clara, or where the 49ers play. Okay, NBC has the Super Bowl 60 broadcast. So
Okay, I know why they did the lettering rather than the little symbols. Because I just saw something that said every Super Bowl score bug in Fox history, and they do that. They put the abbreviations of the teams that are against each other.
But they didn't for 2023.
Right. They've only done it twice or 3 times, where it was the Steelers versus the Packers, San Fran last year's Super Bowl, and then the Super Bowl before that, 2022.
23. Technically, the 2020 season, but it was the 2023 Super Bowl. But yes.
Sorry, I should just say San Fran versus Kansas City, and then Kansas City versus the Eagles.
Eagles, the first time, yep. And then the second time, they changed it again. It was, like I said, it was just like they weren't trying. I liked their old graphics package. I thought it looked fine. It was fine. We didn't need to mess with it. Like, you could even... I like the way they do it in college a little bit better. Now, I know in college they have to add the rankings on there, and so they kind of have to change it a little bit like that. But overall, it was fine. So I'm hoping that this isn't what they go to permanently, because not good, dude. Not good. At least it's just like low effort, man. So low effort. So, and I don't know, but we'll see. Obviously, the NFL doesn't start again until September. So we shall see.
Hopefully, if the Super Bowl colors are anything to go by. I'm not going to say it this time because I fucked it up the last time. So
yeah,
with my 2025 predictions.
Not good. Not good.
Yeah, not good at all.
Not good. But what is good, Dylan, is our bangers of the week.
Bangers of the week.
Now, Dylan, if I wanted to listen to our bangers of the week, where can I do that?
Oh my God. I'm so glad you asked. You can obviously go down to the description below where we have a Spotify playlist of all our bangers of the week. Sorry, Brianna's phone is ringing. I'm waiting for it to
stop
ringing. Yeah. All right. Anyways,
tell the dishwasher to pick it up then.
So, yeah, that's where you can find our bangers of the week. Am I supposed to tell you what I picked now?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
What is your banger
So
of the
Cold by Breaking Benjamin.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
That's a great one.
You know what? When I was looking through, I was like, I almost picked that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, mine, because in the spirit of the most bogus holiday, actually, you know, we're going to, because this actually went quicker than I thought, we're going to slot this one in right after this. The most bullshit holiday in existence happened, obviously, last week, Valentine's Day. So, in the spirit of Valentine's Day, I did my banger of the week is You're Mine by Disturbed. It's a good little song.
It's from a good album, too.
Yeah, good album. But most of their albums are good. I mean, let's be honest here, right? I wouldn't say not all their albums are bangers. There's one in there where I'm like, it's okay, it's not great. But for the most part, they're all slapping, man. They're all slapping. They're all just slapping. Dylan, what is your fact of the week?
Oh, you didn't? I thought you were going to do another banger of the week.
What? I just did my banger of the week.
No, I know that, but I thought you said something about doing two.
No.
Or at least I must have misinterpreted.
No, I said we're going to slot something in here about talking about the most bogus holiday in existence.
Oh, okay.
No, I do have two functional idiots of the week, but obviously that's farther down the line. But
I have one, and you're probably not going to be happy about it. That's all right.
It's me, isn't it?
No. Australia is wider than the moon. I didn't know that. That's interesting, to say the least, I guess.
So you're telling me if the moon were to fall into Earth and hit Australia, it'd be like throwing a hot dog down the hallway?
Okay, I don't... No, because it's only a difference of 600 kilometers.
Only 600 kilometers? Dude, that's still like 300 miles. It's like 400 miles, dude.
I'm not saying it's not, like, small, but, Australia is 4,000 kilometers wide, and and the moon is 3,400 kilometers.
I mean, don't get me
diameter.
wrong. If the moon were to hit the Earth, like that would
it'd be it'd be disastrous. We'd probably all be dead.
Yeah, that'd be bad news, dude. That would be bad news.
Bad news bears.
Yeah, that would not be good. That'd be not good. Do you know that there's an asteroid that NASA's tracking?
I did know that.
Okay.
It's supposed to hit in 7 years. Supposedly.
2032, I think they said like that. But
yes.
That's right now. But they said because they're about to lose it within what they can see or something like that or whatever. And so they said, though, that I think like right now it's like a 3.6% chance to hit Earth.
Yeah.
Where obviously if that were to hit land, that would be not good for whoever it were to hit. More than likely, though, it would hit in the ocean because, 75% of the Earth is ocean. Which then would be bad news for wherever the tidal wave goes. Either way, it's not good. Let's just put it at that. It's not good, right? But they said that most likely every time an asteroid where they say, has a insert percent chance to hit Earth in this amount of years, and then it will like circle around like on the other side of the sun or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. But then when it comes back, usually when it comes back on its trajectory to supposedly hit Earth, it changes its trajectory a little bit, or things change, because obviously the rotation of the Earth around itself and around the sun is not perfect, right? It does vary a little bit in speed. And same thing with the asteroid. It might, go a little bit faster. It might go a little bit slower, depending on what happens. It might hit something else. We don't know, So it will be interesting. I mean, even if you look at it, 3.6% chance, that's still pretty low, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time,
you wish that there was no chance of it hitting, but...
Right, but at the same time, once you start getting into the full percentile chances, now it's like, before it was at like 1%. It's like, well, that's 1 in 100, right? So if there was 100 of those flying around, one of those would hit Earth, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
Now we're at 3.6. So, I mean, that's pretty high, And in the astronomical sense of it, right? That's really high. Really, really high.
Are you worried?
No. Because I think...
You sounded a little worried. I was like... Hey, bud, it's only 3% chance.
No, I'm not. Again, because I don't know how big they say it is right now, and it's about to go back around the other side of the sun or whatever the fuck, whatever path it's on, right? I don't think it'll hit Earth, but I think if it does, whatever size it is, a lot of it is obviously going to burn up in the atmosphere because it's going like 23 bajillion miles an hour or whatever it's doing.
So, okay, I related to that. I heard that it's not going to burn up per se. It is going to break apart, though.
Right, it's going to break apart
so
because it's going so fast.
Not as much damage, but it'll do a little bit. It'll hit a lot more places rather than one big place. So
right, but obviously a bunch of smaller asteroids hitting is a lot better than one big ass one hitting like in the middle of the Pacific or Ocean or something like that. And then poor Japan's over here is like, all right, Fukushima 2.0, here we go.
Or fucking just getting hit with tsunamis every 4 years. It's like, well, it only took 2 years this time, making progress.
Oh, boy, I'd really love to read this article by the Washington Post, but I got to fucking enter my email. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Or I hate when you got to pay for the shit.
Yeah.
Or lick my balls. I'm not going to fucking pay 50 cents just to read your goddamn website.
Yeah, man. Like, the Detroit Free Press, you got to pay to read something. I'm sorry. Thought you were called the fucking Free Press.
Yeah, you fucking losers.
So, actually, the odds of the asteroid hitting Earth on December 22nd, 2030, or to hit on December 22nd, 2032,
we
were
might be
predicted
dead by then, so I'd be all right with that.
Well, we're predicted at 3.1%.
Oh, we're predicted at 1%?
3.1%.
Oh, 3.1.
Well, then the odds dropped to 1.5%.
Oh, okay.
Now they're down to a scant, not a scant, 0.28%. So a quarter of a percent, basically.
Just call me a skank.
Yeah, you are a skank.
What is it down to now? I was worried about
quarter of a percent, just over a quarter of a percent, 0.28%. 0.28. So
0.25.
The reason they said it does this is because it's so far away from us, and they said right now it's about 52 million miles away, which is about half the size of your mom. So
that's funny.
The reason why it varies so much is because there's so many factors in play that it's hard to calculate right now. Like stuff around that's within Earth's orbit. There's obviously NASA has a big center that tracks space junk, but that is a lot more reliable because, well, it's a hell of a lot closer first off, right? And so it's a lot easier to follow and detect. They said in 2032 that it's probably going to pass within, I love how they said million miles away, and then now they're going to talk in kilometers, fuckers. Pass between 100 and 200,000 kilometers away, which is between 60 and 120,000 miles, which, again, astronomically speaking, that's really close. Because if you think about how the size of your mom is compared to the atmosphere or to the universe, right? It's about the same. That's really close. They said right now that the size of the asteroid is about the same size of like a Boeing 747.
So does that mean if your mom farts, we get solar winds?
Damn, I didn't know we were going to have trucker thoughts in this. That's a good thought. I guess. No, that's a black hole.
No, that's when she gives, no, that'd be her butthole. Yeah, okay, sure, yeah.
I was going to say, last time I checked, farts come from the butthole. Could be wrong. I mean, there's backdoor farts and then there's front door farts, but I'm assuming we're talking about a backdoor fart, so...
Or is the black hole just throwing a hot dog down a hallway?
Well, it is, too.
So...
I mean...
Wormhole right there.
If you think about it...
Your mom's got a wormhole.
I mean, if you think about it, nothing can leave the grasp of a black hole. And if there's food within front of your mom, it ain't leaving that grasp. So I guess you could say your mom is a black hole.
What do they call it? The one-eyed trouser yogurt worm or something?
The one-eyed trouser worm? No, the other one was the ball-headed yogurt slinger.
That's what. Yogurt slinger. That's funny.
So, but like you said, more than likely it'll probably break up when it enters Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like
if it even does at all.
Right. And I don't think it's not going to be a problem, I don't think. And obviously if it really became a problem, we could just fucking launch a missile at it or something. I don't know. But it's still, there's probably, let's go on the assumption that it does enter Earth's atmosphere. More than likely, some of it's going to break off. And again, first of all, it getting to even hitting Earth is at 0.25% now, basically. Just over 0.25%. Right? And then 70 to 75% of Earth is ocean. And so if you take that already, it's at 0.25% now. And then you equate that out to the odds that it would actually hit anywhere where it's going to affect you directly is even smaller because there's so much ocean. And then there's like, you know, big ass continents like Africa and shit. I don't think it's not going to completely break up into like a million pieces and burn up. There's going to be one main chunk that hits somewhere, and that's going to be a bad day, right? For that part of the world. But I don't think it's going to be, it's not going to be a world ender. Obviously, it's not like we're going to go do the fucking dinosaurs and just be like, all right, deuces, right? And just extinct, make ourselves extinct. But if it hits in the ocean, obviously there's going to be probably a pretty big tidal wave, right? And that's going to do some serious damage, like Phil Swift style. It's definitely going to affect the world just in the sense of how interconnected our economies are. But it's not going to be, you know, world ending by any chance, by any stretch of the imagination. I think if anything were going to be world ending at this point, we probably would know about it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right? And then if it was, we would probably do something about it, like launch some missiles at it to break it up in within space. Or do something, right? To change how it...
Frickin' nuker, dude.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
You can't. No, that can't happen.
Well, I mean, when you're in space, it's not like it could hear it coming. Sorry.
I should fucking slap the shit out of you for making that joke. Can't hear it coming. Oh my god. Actually, you might be able to.
No, if you're too stupid to hear, if you're too stupid to understand that joke, I'm not going to explain it to you because, well, you're too stupid to understand it. So
no. Because, well, sound has to travel off part of. I'm not going to explain it, but it could possibly because if it breaks up.
As he proceeds to explain it. I'm not going to explain it, but
sound waves are carried by the particles in the air. Yeah, no. All right, go watch Neil deGrasse Tyson or something. That's a smart motherfucker.
Yeah,
and I'm just a fart smeller, so
not neo-Nazis.
What?
That was a joke. Apparently, you didn't even get it from our intro. When you were saying that you were talking, you heard one smart knee. And then Neil deGrasse Tyson, I said, I thought you were going to say a neo-Nazi.
Oh, is that where that came from?
That's where that came from, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Boy.
I knew it was, I knew what you were getting at, but I was like, I don't know why he's throwing this joke in there. And then okay.
Now I'm just sad.
Yeah, be sad.
Yeah, there's our motto, be sad. So, why don't we... Okay, let's move on to something that you wanted to do last time we recorded.
Motherfucker. Hold on.
We already did your fact of the week. What did we miss?
Fact of the week. There's two.
There's two? Holy shit.
There's got to be two. I said I'm going to get my facts of the week.
Oh.
Yeah. Tuesday is named after Tyr, the Norse god of war and justice. In Old English, it was called... Not even going to try and pronounce that. Which evolved into the modern Tuesday.
Tuesday, isn't it?
It looks like it's Tweezdog. Shut the fuck up, all right? I'm trying my best.
No, hold on. Do you have it on your computer? Send it to me in Discord. Tweeze?
Yeah.
Tweeze,
I'll
dog?
copy it. I'll copy it. Come on, you fuck. You said send it to you in Discord? I was just going to send it to you in Riverside.
Oh, that's fine, too. Tweeze, dog? I gotta see this shit. Do, 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 do. I could cut all this part out. That's how it's spelled?
Yeah. It's Tweeze Dog.
Well, how is the A and E, like, thing, or even pronounced?
Hang on. Pronounce twos.
Yeah, what does Google say? Hold on, I'll be able to get it on my computer. Let me copy it. Watch it just be like, oh, it's Tuesday, isn't it? Oh, fuck you. How to pronounce Control V. Yeah, how do you pronounce this? Howtopronounce.com. Pronounce! It's at a 4 out of 5 on the difficulty. Okay, what does it say?
Tuesday.
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 Oh, I was close. I said Tweezdag.
yeah, Tuesday.
That happens.
Oh my God. I got the dag part right. I just said the twos part wrong.
Yeah, you're right there, Dylan. Right there.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesdag and Tweezdag right there. I can see how you could totally confuse them up.
You can't, dude. It's IW, not WI.
Tuesday.
Tuesdag. Tweezdag.
Tweezdag.
Oh my God. I'm not that far away. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you say so. It's like saying, oh, LA is right next to New York. Good Lord. Oh. Hey, you just put me on one of my 15-hour coughing fit. Thanks. Holy shit. Oh. Okay, well, we're going to get into something. Are you sure you don't got another fact?
No, that's it.
You don't got one for Weenies Day or something like that?
No.
Okay.
Good
we're
old
gonna get
Tweezdag.
Tweezdag. Jesus. Maybe that's where they came up. Maybe they invented tweezers on Tuesday, and so that's why they called it tweezers. Tweezers.
Tweezers.
Tweezers.
Tweezdards.
Tweezdards. Tweeztards.
I also can't laugh too hard because I'll start coughing.
Holy shit, God, we're like smoking here. Pepsi one more another lung dart, would you? All right,
I hope you have a coughing fit and forget to mute just so I can be like, how about you have another one?
It'd probably be if I don't hit the button quick enough.